time, the court is going to go ahead and call Coryell County Calls number DC-24 55,956, and this is in the 440th Judicial District Court of Coryell County, Texas, and is in the interest of this looks like all right, I'm trying to get that last name. Well, the last part is Hensley. There's something that's, I don't think there's a hyphen there, but I'll look at Priscilla Hensley, not custodial party being Brian Hensley, custodial party being Raven Murdoch. And this matter is before the court on a petition establishing parent-child relationship with AOP. A copy of the AOP is attached to this order. It shows the parent signing off on a non-paternity back in October of 2020, confirming the parentage of this child. There was service of citation on both parties in July of this last year. Let's see, Gatesville was Mr. Hensley was served in Gatesville. Okay, there was a request, and Ms. Hensley was served on the 19th day of July, and the father was served on the 12th day of July. So both parties are probably before the court this time. I don't see an answer filed by either. However, Ms. Murdoch is present live. I'll ask the state for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, and whether or not you're requesting this to be a final hearing or a temporary order at this time. Mr. Diamond, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Mr. Hensley is not present, so requesting the court to proceed in default. Ms. Osmus is not here because the state's going to ask the court to use the minimum wage presumption on this one. Your Honor, would love to get a final order if possible. As far as the financial side of this, I believe the testimony is going to be government coverage, 1 in, none out. So asking for $220 on the child support, $57 on the current medical. The testimony is going to be that the parties separated when the child was, I think, less than a month old. So asking the court to go back the full 48, so $231 by 48 months. I have $11,088. And requesting the court to order Mr. Hensley to repay $105 a month. That's the easy part of it, Your Honor. State is requesting non-disclosure. I don't know what Ms. Murdoch's position is, but the state is going to request non-disclosure. I believe she'll testify that there's been extensive violence in this case, that I think she'll say more than 20 times he was physically violent with her, including one time he hit her over the head with a handgun. I think she'll also testify that he choked her on multiple occasions. And as far as the police were not involved because she was in fear for her life, or at least in fear for her safety. Anyway, but they've been separated for a significant amount of time. So I'm glad she got away. I'd like to keep her away. And I think she'll also testify that Mr. Hensley has a problem with methamphetamine use. He's presently in the Coryell County Jail on a trespassing charge, and that's his MO, to be in and out of jail on what sounds like small misdemeanors. Excuse me, Your Honor. Anyway, so asking the court to use minimum wage. I'm sorry, Miss Murdoch's request is going to be 10 visits at each step in 4 steps, and I think that's what I have, Your Honor.
All right, maybe I'm probably looking at close on this one also, Mr. Diamond. So, but I'll let you work that in when you're asking her questions, if you hadn't already talked to her about that. Because yeah, but let's get some testimony. Let's go ahead and get the circumstances down and see about setting up the correct conservatorship for these circumstances, and see what we can do one way or the other. So at this time, Ms. Murdoch, raise your right hand. All right, ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give this court today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
I do.
All right, ma'am, you're officially under oath. At the end of the hearing, if there's anything else you think I need to know that didn't come out during your general testimony, I'll allow you to help give the court that information and the fact that you're your own legal rep. So at this time, I'll ask the state to go ahead and proceed with testimony at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Ms. Murdoch. Ma'am, will you state your full name, please?
Raven Allison Murdoch.
Okay. And let's talk about this case. Let's talk about the money first, and then we'll talk about some of the safety issues and the access, because I think that the financial side is going to be less complicated. What are you doing for health coverage for Priscilla?
She's always been on Medicaid.
Okay. And are you aware of Mr. Hensley being on child support for any other children?
No.
So my request to the court is going to be to use the, well, what does Mr. Hensley do for a living?
Um, from what I know is he used to be like he used to build houses, like frame houses, and that's all I've known of. I don't know recently. That was just back when we first got together 4
Okay.
years ago.
Are you aware of any type of steady employment for him in the last few years?
No.
Okay. Is it your position that he's not shown a will to be steadily employed?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on that, my request to the court is going to be to use minimum wage for Mr. Hensley. Do you have any objection there?
No.
And so along those lines, my request to the court is going to be that Mr. Hensley be ordered to pay you $220 a month on the current support, and then 57 for the medical. Are those numbers acceptable?
Yes.
And then I'm asking for 48 months. That's 4 years of retroactive support based off of minimum wage, which would be $11,088. Is that number acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. And then my request to the court is that he be ordered to repay $105 a month until he's paid you in full. Again, is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I apologize, I did not discuss this with you, but one of the things the court is considering is going to be ordering both of you to communicate through an app that you would get on your phone called AppClose. My understanding, the court likes that because the court can access conversations if there's some sort of dispute about what was said. So, do you have any objection to communicating with Mr. Hensley through that app?
No.
Okay, and I think it's probably a good idea, and I should have raised that with you. All right, let's talk about you and Mr. Hensley. It's fair to say that there's real safety concerns with Mr. Hensley.
Yes.
Okay. Has he been violent with you in the past?
Yes.
Approximately how many times would you say he's been violent?
20 times.
Okay. What was the worst thing that he did to you?
He hit me upside the head with a gun hard enough to make me black out.
Okay. And
handgun.
were the police called then?
No, he
What?
threatened me when I wanted to call the police as I was 18 and naive, so I didn't. I was too scared.
Okay. Have there been other incidents involving weapons? Has he ever choked you or restricted your breathing?
Yes,
How many times?
about 5 times.
Okay. Beg your pardon, Your Honor. If it pleases the court, I'll move on at this point, unless the court wants more details.
She's sole MC. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm giving granting any visitation, go further order and an investigation by an ad litem. It is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Does Mr. Hensley have a drug problem?
Yes.
What is his drug of choice?
Meth.
And when were you last aware that he was using?
I have heard around town recently, and from the last time I saw him 4 years ago, he was using.
So fair to say from what you've been told, things have not changed much in the last 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Where is he right now?
Jail. Coryell County Jail.
All right. And my understanding, that's a criminal trespass charge.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that's been a common occurrence with him, getting
Yeah.
popped on small misdemeanors like that?
Yes, it's pretty much every other month he's in there.
Okay. So my understanding is your request to the court was you'd like 10 supervised visits and then 10 other steps at each level. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. When's the last time he saw your daughter?
When she was 2 months old.
Does she know who he is?
No. If she saw him today, she would not have any idea who he was.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Diamond, on this one, I'm looking at only granting Dad 2 weekend visits a month, the first and the third Saturdays, from 1 to 5, and that's in the presence of the mom and her or her designated agent. until further order of this court. I'm not gonna let him, he's gonna have to come back and show me that his life has changed before he even gets anything other than restricted access to the child. I'm gonna obviously make a finding of family violence also, but I'll let you go ahead and finish everything else up. I just want to let you know I'm not going to go past the initial visitation package and order that in order app close, and he has to give mom at least 72 hours advance notice by app close that he wants his 1 p.m. on Saturday, on the first Saturday or the first of the third Saturday of the month. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. May I inquire of Ms. Murdoch if she has a preference between Saturday or Sunday?
Go right ahead.
Saturdays would be great.
Okay.
Then I think that does it, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
All right, ma'am, here's the deal. Yeah, this guy's kind of scary. So I'm going to go ahead and find that he has committed family violence against you, and I'm going to grant non-disclosure going forward. You're only required to download the app close and communicate with him fully through that. I'm going to name you sole managed conservator of this child. I'm going to name him a possessory conservator, but right now I'm not going to grant him any rights under the possessory conservatorship other than the right to have physical access to the child on the first and third Saturdays of the month from 1 p.m. And let's not make it, she's little, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it from 1 to 4. Let's make it 3 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and order that he has to give you at least 72 hours advance notice of when he wants his visitation, or if he chooses to exercise his visitation on either that first or third Saturday until further order of the court. I'm gonna go ahead and order that he presumption being and he's in jail with that's all kind of problematic. So I need to make it based on the minimum wage presumption that he's not physically handicapped or could not work at least at a job earning minimum wage at 40 hours a week. So I'm going to find that, and I'll order him to pay the guideline child support as calculated by the state along with the cash medical and dental. I'm also going to grant the retroactive child support, and I'll order that repaid. And Mr. Dami, you can do that at interest plus 50, and that will be the amount of child support, repayment on the retro that I'm going to order. Let's go ahead and make this a final. You don't need to have this hanging around. He's going to be in and out of jail. I don't want. He's not. He didn't come in to do anything on this one, so I won't worry about it. So, is there anything else I need to specifically rule on, Mr. Diamond?
No, Your Honor. I think that covers it.
All right, Ms. Murdoch, we're fast talking lawyers. We just said a lot of stuff and we said it very, very quickly. But what you have, ma'am, is technically sole custody until further order of the court. He's going to have to pay. I've ordered him to pay child support. I'm giving him access. But the normal rights that you're going to see on your page, that you on your order, that you get the right to go to school, doctor's appointments, set everything else up. You'll see that under your name and under his name. I'm not giving him anything until further order of the court due to his family violence of using a firearm to strike you with, and I'm specifically finding that he did choke you or to try to stop your breathing ability by choking you. So I'm going to find that that is a specific criminal felony in the state of Texas. It's the worst one. It's one thing to hit someone or even to take a shot at them, but when you start trying to choke them, that's personal. That gets really personal. So I'm going to find that based on that, I'm going to name you sole MC and not give him any rights of the possessory conservator till he shows back up. The fact he hadn't seen this child since the child was 3 months old says it all anyway. So, ma'am, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, then. Now I'm going to have Mr. Diamond prepare that order and circulate it to you for your signature, ma'am. And Mr. Diamond, may Ms. Murdoch be dismissed, or do you need it back in the breakout room to get this one done right away?
If she can be dismissed, Your Honor, this is going to be a manual order, and it's going to take me some time to write it up. All
right, ma'am, you're free to go. The state, that you have her contact information. Is that correct, Mr. Diamond?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, here's the deal. Like I said, you go online, download the app. It's called App Close, APPCLOSE. And go ahead and set it up for you. It has in it texting, FaceTime, even the ability to send money. But he's not supposed to send money through this. He's got to send that through the state disbursement unit to get credit. But you need to go ahead and download it, and you can find it either in Google Play or iTunes, whichever system you like. Believe me, unfortunately, this family's been locked into the Apple infrastructure, and then once you're in, you can't ever get out. So we're good to go. In fact, I just got a new iPad a couple of months ago that I'm loving the daylights out of. So there you go. But anyway, ma'am, thank you very much. Good luck to you and your daughter. May God bless, and y'all have a great holiday time frame, ma'am. Christmas and New Year's. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You take care, ma'am. We're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let me finish writing this one up, and I'm gonna go ahead and make it